Filthy Secrets of Ivar the Boneless. Prepare to uncover the filthy secrets and truth about Ivar the Boneless, the captivating character from the Viking series. But was he more than just fiction? Discover the untold story of this fearsome Viking warrior, the true nature of Ragnar's son, and the shocking secrets surrounding his demise. The whole boneless nickname thing is a real head-scratcher for historians and scholars. Nobody can quite put their finger on where it came from or what it really means. But hey, that hasn't stopped people from coming up with a bunch of theories, right? So let's dive into a couple of those wild ideas. One popular theory suggests that the boneless was all about a physical limitation that made it hard for the person to walk. It's like they had trouble getting their groove on with their legs. But hold up, we're not talking about literal bone composition here. Nope, this theory says it could be some kind of condition that messed with their mobility. You know, like muscular dystrophy, which messes with the muscles and makes moving around a real challenge. So imagine this person strutting around with a cool nickname like the Boneless, not because they had jelly-like bones, but because they had a tough time getting from point A to point B. It's like their legs just didn't want to cooperate. Talk about a bummer. There's another theory that's pretty mind-boggling when it comes to the whole boneless nickname. Get ready for some medical speculation, my friend. This theory suggests that the person actually had this condition called osteogenesis imperfecta, or as it's more commonly known, brittle bone disease. Sounds intense, right? Now, with this condition, your bones become super fragile and break easily. Like one wrong move and snap. Talk about a bummer. So imagine going through life with bones that are just waiting to crack at any moment. That's some serious tough luck. So here's the kicker. This theory connects the dots between brittle bone disease and the nickname boneless. It's like because their bones were so prone to breaking, they got stuck with this distinctive name. It's kind of ironic, don't you think? Now let's be real here. These are just theories floating around, and we don't have concrete evidence to back them up. But hey, that's what makes history so intriguing, right? The lack of solid proof leaves room for our imaginations to run wild. We can't help but wonder about the possible explanations and the impact it had on these legendary figures' lives. Now, in the Vikings fiction series, the character Ivar, son of Ragnar Lothbrok and Aslog, bears the epithet Boneless, adding an intriguing layer to his persona. According to legend, Aslog had cautioned Ragnar to wait 3 nights before consummating their marriage as a precautionary measure to prevent their child from being born without bones. However, driven by his eagerness, Ragnar did not heed this warning. In the realm of fiction, the interpretation of boneless concerning Ivar takes on a different dimension. The sagas within the Viking lore describe Ivar's condition as having only cartilage where bone should have been. This portrayal presents a unique perspective, highlighting a potential hereditary skeletal condition like osteogenesis imperfecta, commonly known as brittle bone disease, or even an inability to walk. It is worth noting that despite such physical limitations, Ivar possesses a fearsome reputation as a warrior, underscoring the remarkable resilience and tenacity of his character. Interestingly, the depiction of Ivar as completely devoid of bones emerges in the poem Tallykill Ilforni, emphasizing his exceptional nature. However, contrasting accounts also attest to Ivar's towering stature, dwarfing his contemporaries and possessing tremendous strength. Notably, the Gesta Danorum, a historical chronicle, does not mention Ivar's bonelessness, adding further complexity to the legends surrounding him. Within the realm of speculation, some theories propose a metaphorical interpretation of the nickname, drawing parallels with Ivar's brother Sigurd, known as Snake in the Eye. But what do we know about what Ivar actually accomplished in real life? Known for his audacious exploits on the British Isles, alongside his 2 brothers, Ivar set his sights beyond mere plundering, aspiring to carve out kingdoms of his own. Ivar, accompanied by his brothers Halfdan and Ubba, embarked on a momentous expedition to invade the glorious lands of Great Britain in the eventful year 865. This audacious endeavor was carried out under the banner of a formidable Viking force, ominously dubbed the Great Heathen Army by trembling Christian inhabitants. The 3 brothers harbored a fervent desire to seek retribution for the tragic demise of their father, a valiant raider who met his untimely end after being ensnared during a raid on the prosperous kingdom of Northumbria. The poignant tale recounts that Ragnar, the illustrious patriarch, allegedly faced a macabre fate, being cast into an abominable pit teeming with venomous serpents under the command of the Northumbrian monarch, King Aella. Driven by an unwavering resolve to avenge their father's gruesome demise, Ivar and his brothers set foot on the shores of the captivating kingdom of East Anglia. To their surprise, they encountered minimal resistance in this initial encounter, allowing them to swiftly proceed toward their ultimate destination, the realm of Northumbria. In their relentless pursuit, the audacious Vikings besieged and triumphantly conquered the grand capital city of York in the year 866. However, the elusive Aella and his predecessor, the deposed Northumbrian king Osbert, managed to evade capture during this initial encounter. Fate, however, had other plans for them, as a second cataclysmic clash ensued in the fateful month of March 867. In this decisive battle, both Aella and Osbert met their ultimate demise, succumbing to the relentless onslaught of the indomitable Vikings. The series, on the other hand, further intensifies the conflict by weaving in additional dramatic elements and interpersonal storylines, bringing the characters and their motivations to life. The second battle, which eventually leads to the demise of Aella and Osbert, is depicted with gripping intensity, portraying the brutality of the Viking warriors and the extent of their vengeful wrath. While the Netflix series may take creative liberties and embellish certain aspects for entertainment purposes, it remains true to the core historical events and captures the spirit of the Viking invasion of England. It serves as a captivating portrayal of the extraordinary saga of Ivar and his brothers as they seek retribution for their father's tragic fate, delivering an engaging and immersive viewing experience for audiences. According to Norse sagas, Ivar the Boneless was a legendary Viking warrior and leader who lived during the 9th century. He was a prominent figure in Viking history and gained a fearsome reputation for his ruthless and merciless nature. It is said that Ivar executed his enemies in particularly brutal and creative ways, with one of the most infamous methods being the Blood Eagle ritual. The Blood Eagle is described in the sagas as a ritualistic form of execution that involved carving an eagle shape into the victim's back and then pulling out their ribs, resulting in a gruesome and agonizing death. The name Blood Eagle is derived from the imagery of the victim's blood dripping down their back, resembling the wings of an eagle. Although the historical accuracy of the Blood Eagle ritual is a matter of debate among historians, its depiction in Norse sagas and its association with Ivar the Boneless has contributed to its enduring reputation as a symbol of Viking savagery and cruelty. After putting this puppet ruler named Egbert in charge of Northumbria, Ivar led his crew to Nottingham in Mercia. But hold up, the Mercian king Burgred wasn't having it and called for backup from Wessex. That's when King Ethelred I and the future King Alfred, Alfred the Great, rolled up to put the squeeze on Nottingham. And guess what? The Danes were like, nah, we're out of here, and skedaddled to York without even throwing down a fight. They chilled in York for about a year, just hanging out. But the story doesn't stop there. In 869, they bounced back to Mercia, crossed that territory once again, and made their way to East Anglia. And guess what they did there? They were straight up defeated by King Edmund in a battle. Talk about flexing some Viking muscle. Now get this, Ivar apparently sat out of this Viking campaign to take down Wessex. It didn't work out so well for his pals. Instead, he teamed up again with his buddy Olaf the White and headed up to what we now call Scotland. Their crew went all out, taking over and wrecking Dumbarton, the capital of the Strathclyde Kingdom, in 870. And the next year, they rolled back to Dublin like victorious warriors. But here's the kicker. Ivar, who had earned the title King of the Norsemen of all Ireland and Britain, sadly kicked the bucket in 873. Rest in peace, Ivar. But the details surrounding his death are shrouded in mystery, leaving room for some wild speculations and hearsay. You know how it goes. When the truth isn't clear, rumors start flying left and right. One juicy rumor suggests that Ivar was actually killed by the real King Aella. Yeah, the same King Aella who supposedly tossed Ivar's old man Ragnar into a pit full of venomous snakes. Talk about a grudge match. According to the rumor, Aella managed to get his revenge on Ivar, probably thinking he could finally put an end to the whole Lothbrok family drama once and for all. But hold on a second, because that's not the only rumor floating around. Some folks whispered that Ivar didn't actually die at all. Nope, they say he faked his own death, pulling off an epic disappearing act worthy of a Hollywood movie. Why would he do such a thing? Well, the rumors go on to claim that Ivar had some cunning plan up his sleeve, maybe seeking a fresh start or plotting a grand comeback. It's like he vanished into thin air, leaving everyone scratching their heads and wondering what really happened. Now, let's keep in mind that these are just rumors, my friend. We don't have concrete evidence to support any of this. But hey, who can resist a good gossip session? The mystery surrounding Ivar's death keeps the rumor mill spinning and our imaginations running wild. It's the stuff that legends are made of, fueling our fascination with this enigmatic Viking figure.